Greetings and welcome to another replay of Commands and Colors Ancients, and we are continuing the first Punic War that we started last time with the Battle of Agrigentum. And yeah, we are now in the year 256 BC, and we're also actually in a new theater of war, you could say, because after the Battle of Agrigentum, the Romans, which was a Roman victory, though not a decisive one, but still an important victory because they got control of the city of Agrigentum, and so the Romans after that were growing in force, of course in Sicily, forcing the Carthaginians to be a bit more passive, retreating back to their cities, and they were pretty much refusing to do open battles with Romans on Sicily after that. But also, very importantly, the Romans were gaining power, naval power, because they had now by this year managed to, well, take the initiative on the sea and ripping cottage of their naval supremacy. So this is actually the place Adys is in Africa. So, and this tells something, right? The Romans were bold enough to traverse the Mediterranean Sea and go to Africa to launch a campaign against the Carthaginian homeland. So this is what we're seeing here, the really first bigger battle on this African campaign. So the guy who went over here is a consul named Gaius Regulus. So he went down with, well, I think it was kind of 20,000 men, at least infantry and some cavalry to support it. And they started off with taking a Carthaginian city inland Africa called Adys, I think it was, and that was an important thing for the Romans to do because that secured some of the supply issues they had down there. Well, they could, get hold of the cattle and other supply stuff around that city, and also they got huge amounts of slaves from there. So after the city was fallen, or had fallen, the Romans made sure to garrison that city better than the Carthaginians had done, because this was if I understand correctly, it was kind of an easy victory for the Romans to take that city or town. And after that, they actually sent home, by orders from Rome, they sent home some of the army, but the major part stayed in Africa to start harassing and threatening Carthago, the city itself. So the Carthaginians were a bit uncertain where would they launch their attack. Were they coming by sea and do a naval landing close to Carthago, or would they do another route to Carthago, or maybe they have some other goals? They didn't know really, but when they learned that the Romans were marching towards Carthago, close by to a city called Adys, this is actually a walled town. So the Carthaginians saw an opportunity to make a stand here because, well, first of all, it was on the road to Carthago and some good defensive terrain here, I guess. So they raised the militia forces from the city itself, Carthago, under Hasdrubal and Bostar. So they were present here. Also, they realized that was not a strong enough force to stop the Roman, I think it was 2 legions coming here. So what they did was to send a note to Hamilcar to take his crack forces from Sicily and come down and help out with these to stop the invasion of Africa by the Romans. So that he did. As you can see here, he has appeared on this battlefield. So the Carthaginians marched towards Adys, and here they met the Romans, or they became aware of the Roman army in the vicinity. So they camped on this very rugged hill here, because I guess for two things. First of all, it was good defensible terrain. The Romans could not launch an attack just like that. It's on a hill and very rugged. So that's the first decision, I guess, why they camped there. The other thing is, of course, it's a hill, so they have they could keep the Romans in sight and see what maneuvers they were doing. Ironically, though, I mean, the Carthaginians were more heavy on cavalry than the Romans, so the terrain didn't really suit the horsemen that much, of course, because it's very rugged and it's hard to keep cavalry formations. I guess it's also dangerous for horses to move over this terrain. And they also got some elephants with them, as you can see here. Well, anyway, so Regulus, he was determined to attack the Carthaginians anyway, in spite of this position they had. So during a night, he deployed his forces in two strike forces to attack the Carthaginians from two different directions. And at dawn, he did launch the attack, went up the hill, met the Carthaginian mercenaries first of all here, and that was a bitter fight. The Carthaginians were a bit crippled because they couldn't launch their really main weapon here, the elephants and the cavalry, against the Romans. But luckily for the Carthaginians, they were able to push back a legion here, so there was a gap opening in the Roman lines, so the cavalry and the elephants actually got away from that. But they didn't really, if I understand it correctly, take any big part in the battle anyway. So the Romans were closing in to the encampment here, and yeah, pretty much broke the morale of the Carthaginians here. As I said, the mercenary troops put up a good fight, but it was a hopeless cause because the Romans were just of a better quality here, especially with these Carthaginian militiamen. They hadn't really anything to put against the Roman legionaries coming up. So the Carthaginians eventually did break, and they fled the field. So I guess it was kind of a quick story, but I don't know how long this battle took. There's not that much info about that I have read, at least. So well, what could we say else? Well, the aftermath was, of course, that the Romans won the battle. They could force their way towards Carthago, and the Carthaginians were kind of in panic, of course, of this. So they actually did sue for peace here at this point. So Regulus, he did a proposal for the Carthaginians, which was too harsh, basically. I mean, the Romans were to get all the islands close to Italy there that was in Carthaginian control, meaning Sicily and Corsica and Sardinia, and also the Carthaginians would need to pay a huge amount of money for to get the peace, and also there was kind of a agreement that Carthaginians would be a vassal state. So that couldn't really. I mean, the Carthaginians could simply not accept that offer, so they declined. But on the other hand, Regulus was not strong enough with his army to, besiege Carthago itself, at least not effectively. So well, it was kind of in vain in that sense. And eventually, Carthage did renew the struggle. They were hiring this Greek mercenary general Xanthippus, who will. I think there is a battle. I'm not 100% sure, but where we will see Xanthippus leading the Carthaginian forces. But that's a later story in that case. So by that, let's check out the war council here. And as you can see, we had the Carthaginian army with led by Hasdrubal. There's two commanders here, Hasdrubal and also Hamilcar, who was summoned from Sicily. And Roman army has Regulus as a commander, but we have three leaders here on the Roman side. And the Romans will move first, and they have 5 command cards. And here we have a special thing. We have 2 command cards from the beginning for the Carthaginian army. So if we check the special rules for that, it says the Carthaginian player starts with 2 command cards on turn 1, play 1 card, draw 2, and so forth until they reach 4 cards. Now, as you know, I played the CDG solo method by Stuka Joe, and I didn't find really any rules within that solo system that handles this thing. Maybe there is something that I missed, I'm not sure, but I have come up with an own solo house rule for that, which I will explain in a moment. It's not complex, it's just an easy thing. Before we talk about that, let's check out the other things here. We have a fairly short battle, 5 banners. There's another special rule. So when a Roman unit captures a camp hex, there are 2 of those, by the way, the Roman gains a victory banner. I think it's at the instant when they get it. Yeah, if the unit is eliminated or moves off that camp hex, they need to return that victory banner. And then we have the other one. There's no other rules here, or special rules. We have some terrain here. Much of what we have seen, of course, it's these hills. Remember, 2 dice up, 3 dice down, and the maximum plus any cards. And I think it's 3 dice from hill to hill, and maybe it was 2 actually. I need to check that if that happens. And then, of course, cavalry always battle with 2 maximum. We have the ramparts here in the center. So they are a unit that is attacked through the hex side of the rampart will can ignore 1 sword symbol and 1 flag. And the camp hexes are pretty much the same for protection, but they are 360 protection. And then there's also a minus for these things. They battle with 1 die less out from a camp hex, and that's both for ranged and close combat actually. Also important to remember, I hope I do that, mounted units don't get any benefits from these defensive structures here. And then we have these, I think it's called broken ground or rough or something. Let's say broken ground. I think it's the correct term in this game. So for infantry they don't have any movement restrictions. For cavalry they do. Also for unmounted or detached or alone leaders, they need to stop when they entering these hexes. Also, I think it's basically the same as with the hills, that you only get 2 dice when you battle in or out actually from this terrain. Don't think there's anything extra for, you know, ranged combat here. But if it occurs, we're gonna check it up, so don't miss anything there. Anything else? No, I don't think so. So we could by that actually check. Well, first of all, let's talk about my house rules, because first we have this card thing, and then I have another thing I just want to mention. So what I have done instead, because the difference in cards from the beginning is 3, because the Romans have 5 and the Carthaginians 2. So in a normal game where this would happen, we would just add 3 cards to the Romans, or to the side that has more cards, in this case Romans. So I have just done that. So the Carthaginians will get their normal amount of cards, but the Romans will have an extra card in slot A, B and D. And when the Carthaginians are at full hand, they have 4 cards, meaning the rest of the game the Romans will still have 1 extra card. So the normal thing is to have an extra card in slot A for that, when that occurs. So I will always keep the extra card here, but for the B and D slots I will simply, when one of these are played, I will not more add the extra card to these slots. So they have these from the beginning as a extra boost against the Carthaginians, or yeah. So pretty simple. I think it, well, I hope it somehow reflects the difference here. And let's see how it goes, basically. The other thing I wanted to mention, if you remember the strange thing that happened when I played the Agrigentum battle, that I think it was the Romans who had this first strike card in slot A, and then they have some, pretty much a card they couldn't use in slot B. I think actually it was Dark in the Sky or something, and there were no ranged unit in that could use that card, so it was a waste, and the Romans basically lost a turn there. So my new house rule is that when the first strike appears, I will actually remove it from the card display, put it beside here for the side that has it, and then I just simply add another card there for the command cards. So until that card is played, that side actually has 1 more card, you could say, to play, even though the first strike is a reaction card, you could say. So it's really, I think it's good enough, and it's a less chance that these weird things happen with the first strike and something that is unplayable turns up. So I hope you also think that's a good idea to do that. I think it is. So we'll just see how it goes when we get those things happening. So by that, let's check out the armies then. So the Romans are attacking, so let's start with them this time. So we have these forces split into 2 here. We have probably it's 1 legion there and 1 there. I think that's how they did it, and I think this is actually the first legion that were clashing with the mercenaries. So we have 3 medium heavies, Hastati and Principes, and then we have of course some Velites up there and Triarii back here with a leader. We have the same setup on the right hand flank, and that's also Regulus himself there. In the center we have some Roman and Italian cavalry, also with a leader, and then we have these auxiliaries. I don't really know who these guys are, but maybe some mercenaries, I don't know really. And on the Carthaginian side, well, let's start with Hamilcar's forces here. So here's Hamilcar himself with a heavy infantry, and I bet those are the Greek mercenaries he had, so crack troops, Greek phalanx there. Then we have 2 units of warriors, and that's Gauls, and I think also some Hispanic troops. Then we have an archer unit. I think that's a composite of archers and slingers. And over there on that flank we have 2 light infantry, that's Libyan javelin throwers. Then we have the troops occupying the camp. It's 3 auxiliaries, and together with Hasdrubal. And those guys are Carthaginian citizens, the militia they were recruiting for this campaign against the Romans. And then I think there could be some Iberian troops there as well. Then with the elephants, and then we have 2 cavalry, which would be both Carthaginian cavalry, and I think there's also Greek cavalry in there. So that's basically it, and pretty evenly in numbers, but I again sense that the Romans are stronger, so they think they're interested in just going in and get their hands dirty as usual. So by that, let's have a few words about tactics here before we start. So we can start with the Romans. I think this part of the attack force, they will drift towards the center, I guess, and try to get hold of those camps there to get the victory bands from those. And it will be a hard fight, of course, because those are in good cover there, and our flank are a bit threatened by these lights. But I think the Velites there will need to engage those lights and keep them at bay. We have a cavalry unit that could help out if needed on the flank. It would take 2 activations for those guys to get there, but I hope they can be a good reserve for that purpose. And the legionaries just go in and start the battle against that fort. I even might put these guys into action towards that as well. Kind of another reserve unit there. Yes, it can help out there or on the left flank if needed. So here, these guys need to engage those mercenaries there. They are occupying a hill right now, but I'm sure, I mean, they're not really in a benefit of being there. If they had a chance to attack first, I think they will do it and start attacking and also getting down those Greek phalanxes there. And they have a good support by bows here, and that bow unit could actually, as long as it stays there, it can help out on both flanks, pouring fire into any units here. For the Carthaginians then, well, first of all, I think we need to be active with Hamilcar actually, and engage the Romans, trying to get the banners here. The guys in the center will, I mean, the primary thing to do here is just to keep the Romans at bay and hold that line. They are a weaker unit type, but they have stronger positions. So they just have to stay there and hope Hamilcar will do the job for them. They should of course be harassed. These guys will get help from the lights, who will harass them. And what else? The cavalry. Yeah, we have the cavalry issue there. How to use those guys? Well, I think I want to start moving out the cavalry, maybe on both flanks. There it will take some time because it's 2 hexes to traverse there in rough terrain, so it's Gonna take a while. The elephant, though, I think I'll keep here. It's a bit of a emergency reserve here, because if the Romans break into our lines, we can do a counterattack with the elephants right away from back there. So I will keep them there, I guess. I will not go venturing with those guys in the rough terrain. But the cavalry could be really useful here on the flanks, and also, you know, maybe engage the Roman cavalry if they go to any of the flanks as well. That's it. So let's see how it goes. And the Romans are the ones to go first. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna show the cards on slot A and B first of all. So we have an outflanked, we have an I am Spartacus, we have some light troops, and order 2 units right. That's what we have from the beginning. And well, I could also mention that, as you can of course see here, we are already in very close range of each other. So many of the skirmishes are already in javelin range actually, and I mean also the heavier troops could start the battle in just 1 or 2 activations actually, so it could be interesting. So let's see what card the Romans can play first of all. It's a C, D or E, so it's none of these guys. Let's see here. C is a leadership any section, could be really nice, really nice. We have a mounted charge, okay, let's save that. And we have 3 unit center, also nice. And over here we have a counterattack. Okay. Pretty good hand. So, what about the leadership any section? We could either start moving towards Hamilcar over there, or we could start move towards the enemy camp. Otherwise, 3 in the center, we could start moving up our reserves, move the cavalry, maybe start moving it towards the flank, and we can even move up a legionary to scare off those bow units there. Could be good as well, a bit more less aggressive of a turn. The mounted charge I will not do yet. So it's one of these two, and now I'll start with rolling for it actually. So 1 to 3 I play the leadership, 4 to 6 I play the 3 unit center, and it's a 4. So let's go with the bit more cautious start. So as I said, now I have used the second card from slot T, so they will not be. I will not replace the second card here anymore. It will only be slot A that will hold 2 cards once I have played any of these that had 2 cards from the beginning. Okay, so 3 units in the center. So we'll bring up these guys, move the cavalry towards the flank to help keeping the lights at bay, and then, as I said, I will scare off those that bow unit there. I don't want those guys to be in range of me. So these guys, they will move up here. I'm not really sure yet. They can actually throw some javelins. I'm not really no, they cannot. They went 2 hexes, sorry. So they are done. These are done. And but I'm not sure if they should help out in the center or that flank yet, so I'll just move them straight forward. And for the cavalry, well, let's if I move there, we are in range of the enemy missiles. If I move there, I'm not sure. I just move them actually over there, 1 step forward. I can reach those guys, and I can also reach something else here. So yeah, that was an activated guy, so they will attack those bow unit there, and they will evade, I only get 2 dice because I attack uphill. Should I evade? Or should I keep my line there? No, I should evade, I guess. Yeah, we evade. Or try to. So the Romans did miss us, so we can now go away. We need to go 2 hexes, so I go back there. The Roman did effectively attack this null here and scare off those bow units. And I mean, if I would have stayed, I still should have taken that flag as the bow unit, so, well, that's how it goes. Okay, Carthaginians. Well, before we roll, let's check their A and B. It's a leadership any section, same as the Roman had, and another same. So we have 2 leadership any sections up. Let's see what happens here. It will be an A, B, or C. So we're going to reveal the card of slot C as well. So that's a mounted charge. Wow, both guys have a mounted charge. Both have these leadership any sections here. So let's just play the one from A then. Leadership any section. And I will go in and hit hard now. I think. Or should we? I'm thinking, you know, charge down now. We could get that Solitaire, we could get a good hit on those guys. And yeah, I'm very tempted of doing the first attack with the Carthaginians here. The other one would be to activate Hasdrubal. And the thing is, of course, we could start moving the cavalry and the bow unit back in place. That's also tempting, actually. So I'm going to be fair to the Romans, so I will roll for this as well. So 1 to 3 I will activate Hamilcar. 4 to 6 it will be Hasdrubal, and not that aggressive, but it is actually Hamilcar. So we go for the aggressive stance here. So let's see. These guys will go down 1 step here. These guys go here. And these guys go here. Wow. What a charge from Hamilcar. And let's start here. Those guys attack the Roman legionaries there, who scared off the bow unit. And I have 4 dice because I'm full strength warrior and I am adjacent to Hamilcar. So this could be really hard hitting guys. Well, 2 hits, thanks to the leader actually. So we are happy we had him. But the thing is, the Romans held their ground. So, you know, I was hoping you roll a flag because the warriors can follow up and attack again. But the Romans were closing their ranks with some casualties, but they will now battle back. They are not, though, adjacent to a leader. So by that they scored 1 hit on the warriors. Which is of course important, because that takes away the extra warrior benefits of the extra die in battle, and you know, they can ignore 1 flag in full strength. Okay, so now's the question: who should we attack with the, or not who should we attack, but who should attack? So should we do it with the warriors, or should we do it with Hamilcar himself? I think I'd take Hamilcar. Maybe save those guys for a later attack, and if needed, if Hamilcar rolls really badly, they can finish the job. The thing is now, the Solitaires cannot retreat. So that's so this is important. Let's see, 5 dice. 1, 2, 3, and a flag. Let's see, it's 3 hits. Bam. The flag, these guys can ignore thanks to they being supported, so they can actually hit back now against Hamilcar. But they missed him completely. Fair enough. Okay, so now I'm happy I have these warriors with me. So the Skutari here attacks from a bit from the flank with 4 dice against that Velite. They need 1 hit and they're adjacent to a leader. Yeah, they got 3 hits actually. So these guys are now done. And can you believe it? We got the first banner for the Carthaginians already. And the thing is, these guys can now rush in and battle again, and I will do that because, you know, I have Hamilcar with me still. So I will attack these guys who are not supported, so try to force them to retreat with losses. That's the aim. 4 dice. Let's see. Well, 2 hits on the legionaries there. But they also are standing their ground and can battle back, not adjacent to a leader. They missed the warriors completely actually. No hit at all. So the Romans are pretty heavily pressed there now on their left flank. So that was the leadership any section, and I must say I'm really happy with the result. 1 Velite down and 2 legionaries badly beaten here. Okay, interesting. Romans. D or E, meaning mounted charge or a counterattack, and a counterattack would be leadership any section. So I will play that now, of course. And this time it will be no question about it. We need to retaliate here, so I'm gonna order these 3. So I'm gonna go in here. This guy stays. I could go there, but if those guys retreat, they will go 2 hexes back. Right? Warriors retreat 2 hexes, I think. I'm gonna check that out. Yep. So if I go there and these guys retreat, I cannot hit them anyway. So I think I'll stay with the legionaries there, but go up with the Triarii here to do the main attack. Yeah, let's see how this goes. So let's start with Triarii with the leader. So it's 5 dice against those warriors. Now it's payback time. Well, 2 hits, which is good, and a flag. But since these guys were in full strength when I started, they could actually battle back now. There's one problem though. If I battle back, I will be attacked again and for sure eliminated. The bad thing is, if I choose to retreat, those guys can go after and attack again, and that will be an attack against Hamilcar. I don't want that. So these Skutari will protect Hamilcar by biting back against the Triarii with 4 dice. And they are adjacent to leader, and they actually got in 3 hits. Really good there. They're battling with full strength because they were full strength when this battle started. So 3 hits on the Triarii. This is costly for the Romans. Really costly. And we need to check also if the leader was a casualty. Close, really close, but not really. Okay, so these legionaries will have to finish the job now, getting those warriors. It's 4 dice. We will need 2 hits. We got the 2 hits. At last, we got these crazy Skutari, and we got a Roman victory banner. We could go in as well, and this time I'll do it just to reinforce the line here and protect the leader here. Now's the question, who should we attack with the legionaries? We could even kill this with a bit of luck. Or we start attacking those heavies. It's a tough decision actually. It would be nice to isolate these guys by getting those. But these are dangerous. I mean, I have one unit in full strength, the rest are just remnants here now, so this is difficult choice. Nah, I think I go for the warriors anyway. So 4 dice. I hope I get them. Well, almost. I got 2 hits thanks to the leader, but they are forced to retreat. So they rush back here and I'm done, and I will not advance here with I will keep the line here. Okay, that was something. Okay, so both guys have a victory banner by this, and oh my. Those Greeks have some juicy targets there. Okay, let's replace the card for the Romans, like that, and then it's the Carthaginians again. Okay, it's this special one, meaning face-up tactics card or lowest order count. And I wonder if mounted charge is a tactic card. I think it is. So I could play any of these two by that. Mounted charge really don't make sense. I can't get anywhere. So it needs to be the leadership any section. And well, the problem is who should we activate? That would only activate 1 unit, but a very important one, of course. We could get loads of banners by activating him. We could get even 3 with a bit of luck. Over here, that would mean we could start moving the cavalry. Yeah, that's basically what it means. So no, I'm gonna actually play the leadership in this section and sacrifice this good card just to order 1 unit. But this is too important, so they will not move. My goal is to attack these legionaries, get them, and then in the bonus attack get these triarii with a leader here, and that would be some important victory banners for the Carthaginian player here. So we are having heavies with us, so this means 5 dice and a leader, so this is pretty deadly. Only needed 2 hits, we got 3 of them, meaning these legionaries go down. Another victory banner for Carthage. And we can now green and attack again, and this is not good news for the Romans actually. Oops. This is not good news for the Romans because they are only 1 triarii unit here and they can of course not evade, so we have 5 dice against that unit as well. We got loads of hits. They go down. There, and we got the 3rd banner for Carthago by this. And we need to check if that leader is a casualty. It's 1 a die check. He's fine. So he can go back up to 3 hexes. I go 2 back here. We could still advance with these guys and get behind here, but I don't want to do that right now. I don't see any. Well, of course we could move there and attack the leader next time, but no. We are just putting ourselves in range of these guys and so forth, so I'm staying there. But pretty heavy lead for the Carthaginians now. So, Romans. CD or E? We're gonna reveal the E card. First strike, okay, here it comes. So I'll put that aside. And I mean, this is really important for Romans right now. They should have gotten it last turn. That would have been so good, you know, to do the first strike against those Greeks there. Anyway, we're gonna reveal a new card, so it's a move, fire, move. Or a mounted charge. Or was it a CD or E? Ah, yeah, it was. So, leadership any section, mounted charge. No, I'm not sure. Was it a D or E? I'm not sure right now what I got there. Anyway, the problem is I don't really have anything to counter here. So the mounted charge wouldn't give me much. So I actually think I need to play the move, fire, move. Kind of forced to do that now. So it would be these two then. And what can I do? Well, those guys will not move, these guys will. They go there. And they will now put some fire on those guys. Yeah. So it's a 1-die attack against those Greek heavies. We missed them. And then we have the Velite attack against the Libyans. They missed also. So now I could move again. And well, let's move here. At least I give these guys support. Those guys, they stay. Not happy with that turn. It's a Carthaginians. CD or E. Mounted charge again. We have a line command and we have 2 unit centers. So the steam has gone out for Hamilcar as well. He cannot really activate now. Or he could with the line command. Of course he could. Maybe we should again activate him with that card. Yeah, let's do that. So Hamilcar will continue his march around the field here with the Greek mercenaries, and this time I'm aiming towards that legionaries there. I know they're supported, so maybe we should put that out, attack that guy first and put him out of support. I mean those guys, and we can do the bonus attack then there. Okay, so we're gonna see if those guys will now play the first strike or not. So I'm gonna roll a combat die, and if I roll basically a sword or a red, then we're gonna do it. No, it was a blue, so we will not play the first strike at this point. So need to take any flags. We got 1 of those, and we also got 3 hits on those. Bam! The Romans are really going down now. We retreat 1, so they cannot retaliate. These guys go in, and I just continue against that auxiliary unit. Yeah, loads and loads of hits. They go down. We got the Carthaginian 4th banner, and the Roman players is in crisis here. I will actually go down here to threaten the leader even. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy opening. I wasn't foreseeing this strong of an Carthaginian attack. I'm gonna replace the card, the Carthaginians. And well, let's see if the Romans have any chance to get out of this situation. A, B or C for the Romans. Outflanked, Spartacus, light troops or 2 units right. I think I need to throw in whatever I have now. You know, if I could get the cavalry in, get the legionaries in. and preferably by getting it. I could have. Yeah, I need to. Okay, I'm gonna play the Spartacus card now. That's basically it, because we need to hurt those guys, and then we can get our lines together and try to gather the banners. I mean, this will be difficult for the Romans to win, but let's see if they can turn the tide with the Spartacus card. I think I can even order lone leaders with this. Yeah, leader symbol orders any unit of leaders, so I could get those guys also into one of my units there, and that would be really nice. Let's see. I need a really good roll. I need lots of blues and lots of leaders. Well, I got lots of leaders, that's for sure, and I'm happy about that. So we got 3 leaders, we got a green, and we got a red. That's good, because what I want to do now is destroy Hamilcar. And I'm going to put all effort on that. So what I'm going to do is play 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. For the heavies, well, I think I don't activate them even. And for the lights, it's gonna be the velites here. We're gonna throw with an extra die. Okay, so let's start moving. These guys go there. The leader rushes there. The cavalry goes here also to block the retreat path of Hamilcar. So let's save this for a while and do this battle first. I'm gonna roll 3 dice because of the Spartacus card in the Velite attack. We got 1 hit on those javelin throwers there. Good. And now it's becoming super important. We need to be very lucky with the rolls as well. So the legionaries here start the attack against Hamilcar with 4 dice. Let's see how it goes. Well, not bad at all actually. Got 3 hits on those guys. And we're also gonna check the leader. He's fine. So they will now retaliate, and the dangerous thing here is that let's see. It's a bit dangerous because if they kill us now, they will win the battle. So we would not like them to get 4 hits. Then it's over. And that's exactly what they did. They rolled 4 hits and the battle is over. That legion goes down. Carthage get the 5th banner, and they have crushed the Roman assault of the camp. Well, even before it began actually. It was the Carthaginians who took the initiative and just crushed the opposition. It was thanks to Hamilcar. He took heavy losses. He lost his warriors, he lost his Greek mercenaries, but he saved Carthago by these bold movements over here. So, well. That was something. We don't really saw Regulus advancing towards that camp. It all happened here, and what a mess. And what an aggressive and successful charge by Hamilcar. He's, I mean, he have now basically single-handed routed the Roman army here. I mean, when Regulus sees what's happened here, the whole First Legion is going down, he will just retreat with his men. The thing is, he's in a bit of a tight spot here because most of the navy, even the transport ships, has been removed from Africa at this point, so he has really no place to retreat. So yeah, tough position to be Regulus at this point. Very well, this battle was very different from what I thought. I thought actually it would be, well, maybe not as steamroller, but I think the Romans would just grind down the Carthaginians, getting the extra banners from those camps, and it would be pretty soon over. But they really didn't get a chance to activate here. The Carthaginian was just too aggressive here and got the cards he needed here. And even, you know, defending in an I am Spartacus card, they won the battle in the battle back with the Greek crack troops with supreme quality and morale and cohesion. So it's yeah, impressive. Okay, so that's basically it. I will not I don't know, that's not much more to say actually, just wow for Hamilcar. And well, as usually, thanks for watching, and we continue the First Punic War in the next video. Thanks for watching, and see you again. Bye bye.